Hey everyone, here's the paper I'm presenting. As a disclaimer, the presentation is for scholarly inquiry and entertainment. It's not meant for investment or financial advice. Consider these two tech companies, Google and Palantir. Google is one of the largest and most dominant tech giants in the world. Palantir is a relatively small company that most people have never heard of. Now suppose you have $1,000 in cash. If you can only invest in one company stock for the long term, which of the two would you choose? Well, the question can be answered in many ways. This paper hypothesized that more visionary firms yield higher return on investment. Okay, so what does visionary mean? Visionary is a mixture of contextual novelty and prescience. The first image shows a Ferrari on the street in the 15th century, which is contextually novel. It is also prescient because it predicts that Ferrari will become commonplace in the future. So a large or small firm is more likely to be prescient. There are cases for both sides. Larger firms have more resources, smaller firms have more freedom to defy expectations. The researchers collect transcripts of earning calls from 6,000 companies in 2011 and 16. The assumption is that firms with more prescient words from earning calls indicate greater vision. To measure contextual novelty, the researchers called BERT for help. BERT is a pre-trained model developed by Google in 2018 and named after a character from Sesame Street. BERT is further fine-tuned via a masked language model. Given some text, the model hides 20% of words and asks BERT to predict these words based on context. For this project, the researchers separately fine-tuned the BERT based on 2011 and 2016 earning call corpus, resulting in two very different versions of BERT. The two BERTs separately measure word novelty of 2011 earning calls. In this example, the word invest is contextually common in both time periods. Dogecoin was very novel in 2011, but became more common in 2016. We can see a large reduction in the perplexity of Dogecoin over time. It means that text that mentioned Dogecoin in 2011 is highly prescient. Next, we look at how the key variables are measured. Firms score high impressions if their earning calls in 2011 contained a large portion of words that reduced in perplexity in 2016. Results show that controlling for industries, increased impressions is associated with more stock returns. Firms with top 5% prescient score achieved significantly higher returns. Controlling for industry, a decrease in the firm size is associated with greater likelihood to reach the top 5% impression score. Next, we see high industry variation in prescience. Knowledge-intensive industries like finance, tech, and consulting have the highest prescient scores. The researchers found no correlation between prescience and firms' prior stock returns, R&D spendings, or patent success. Next, we see the most and least prescient words in 2011. The most prescient words is onboard, which means training new business customers to use enterprise software, which became popular over the last 10 years. To summarize, small firm size is associated with high prescience, which predict high growth and returns. The finding resonates with Professor James Evans' work on scientific research team and Clayton Christensen's book on disruption. Thank you very much. Here's a very prescient poster.
And you're not selling anything, are you?
No, it's just for entertainment.
That's great.